Welcome to the Prophetic Threshing Floor Experience. I do not own the rights to this music. God is calling us to come higher in Him. I do not own the copyrights of this music.
There is a place my walls hid away from me. My treasure's been there, but my heart has been elsewhere. I can hear you call me to that place. There is a place that I want to be, a place my fears hid away from me.
God don't want us to fear.
Fill me with your perfect love. Oh, I can hear you call me to that place. There is a place that I wanna be, a place my fears away from me. I can hear you calling from above. Fill me with your perfect love. Oh, I can hear you call me to that place. I can hear you from the high place, calling from the mountain where my passion's drawing near. Oh, I can hear you from the high place.
Bless your people, oh God. Bless your people, oh God. Bring healing, deliverance, oh God. Rectify, oh God. Let no weapon formed be able to prosper in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Oh, bless those holding up the bloodstained banner, God. We need you to heal the land, oh God. Have your way in our lives, oh God. Greater is He that is on the inside of us than he that is in the world. Lord, we pray, God, that you will bring peace, God, even in the midst of this election. Let no weapon formed against your people prosper in the name of Jesus. Cause your people to come together as one, God. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Bring unity, God. Bring togetherness, oh God. Dispatch your angels all upon the earth, oh God, to shield and protect us from danger seen and unseen. Inadadadabosa. Ikororoboshe. Nenadadadadadadadaboshaya. Help us to come higher in you and unite in prayer, God, and be prayerful, oh God. Lord, I bless you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you, God. As I was saying, welcome to the Prophetic Threshing Floor Experience. I had been to this group page, and I had neglected it for a while, and God wanted me to pick it back up. And I remember years ago, it was like, I think it was 2000 and I can't remember the date, but God was dealing with me about the Ark of the Covenant, and He wanted me to write a book. I said, Lord, how in the world I'm going to write a book and people really understand me concerning what you're just giving me, the revelation you're giving me? And He said, don't worry about it. He said, because you are going to be an author and you're going to write many books. And He said that when people start reading your material, when they do pick up that book, they'll have a better understanding of what I am telling you. So I said, Lord, it's going to be a little controversial. So I never bothered with it. I never done it. So it was like I said, well, okay. So then, He was dealing with me about the threshing floor. And I always felt like the threshing floor was a place that you lay out before God, because we knew that that's a place of holiness to us. But before I even get started, there's a lot of symbolism that happens, concerning the Ark of the Covenant, because back in the day, they never went to God without a sacrifice. And anything that you have is going to be worth giving. And then nowadays, people be like, oh, all they want is money. How are you going to keep things going if you don't have money? But the great part about it is that when you be obedient to the things that God is telling you, you can't help but be blessed. You just can't help but be blessed. So as I was thinking about the threshing floor, I was like, whoa. I said the ark is connected with it. And then all of a sudden, I came to David. I was like, what? So I was like, okay, Lord, I'll share with what you're telling me. But everything is a symbolism, including the materials and the colors that are on the ark. But there's going to be different sessions that I'm going to be teaching from. So just bear with me, because I'm going to move over here a little bit. I might move over there a little bit. But right now it's just the beginning. And it's just like it's symbolism that is attached to materials and colors. It's gold, silver, brass, purple, blue, scarlet. This is how I go: gold, silver, brass, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, goat's hair, ram skin, badger skin, shittim wood, oil, sweet spices, the veil. And I love the story. That's a whole nother thing right there. Because when Jesus died on the cross, that veil was ripped, and we were able to go before the Father, for ourselves. And that is so special. We are not to take nothing for granted, nothing that God is doing for us, not our loved ones, not our families, not even the people that we meet, even strangers. We to take no one for granted, because we could be entertaining angels unaware. But I just wanted to say, there's symbolism attached to even numbers: one, unity; two, fellowship; three, Trinity; four, the earth; four winds of the corners of the earth; the five, grace; six, man; seven, perfection; eight, new beginning; nine, fruits of the spirit; 10, earth, like responsibilities; and then 11 is like, it could be a lot of three other things. It could be judgment. It could mean that. But 12 is the number of government. It represents the 12 apostles and the 12 tribes. But it could go deeper into that. So there's like a deep in-depth study that I'm going to be working on. So as I write the book, I'm trying to stick to just the threshing floor, but it looked like the Ark of the Covenant that God been trying to talk to me about years ago. It looked like that's going to come into flourishing at a later time. And I'm gonna like mostly like work on a book there, and when I finish the book, then I may start teaching from that. But while I'm working on the book, I'm not gonna be teaching from it, but I'm just gonna go clip snippets here and snippets there. Now, the significance of the threshing floor, it is a place where the wheat is separated from the grain. But in biblical terms, in the biblical symbolism, it also stands for a spot of purification and humiliation. When we come on that threshing floor, we are yielding. We are yielding ourselves to God, and we are surrendering. And I'm going to read some things, but I'm going to read a little bit. I'm not going to be before you long, but I'm going to do live sometimes. But this was so unexpected. I just said, unexpected. I said, yes, Lord, I will do what you told me to do, because he's been telling me to do this for about a week. But I've been kind of busy, and I was like, Lord, what would I say? So it goes, the threshing floor, a union. Oh, yes, a union took place on the threshing floor with Boaz and Ruth. Because of it, a son was born. God blessed her with Obed, her and him. You know, it takes two to tangle. So Boaz and Ruth were blessed with a son named Obed. And Obed, who was the father of Jesse, who would become the father of King David. Now, that goes to show that what God was dealing with me, even about the altar. And I'm going to take you to 2 Samuel. I'm going to be gone, I'm not going to be here that long. I'm just introducing the threshing floor experience. Now, 2 Samuel 24, verse 23 to 24, it says, Your Majesty, Aruniah, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, gives all this to the king, because David went to King Aruniah, and asked him, because he purchased the threshing floor. But I'm just going to read this out. I pray I got the name right. If I not, please excuse my mistakes. Don't be so judgmental, but you'll understand what I'm trying to get at. It says, Your Majesty Uriah Aruniah gives all this to the king. Aruniah also said to him, May the Lord your God accept you. And 24, but the king replied to Reuniah, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing. So David brought the threshing floor and the oxen and paid 50 shekels of silver for them. Now, 50 shekels. So I may have got it wrong. I don't know why I've slipped and said that about Aruniah, but you understand where I'm coming from, and I hope y'all take it in that mistake in love, but I will be coming back to correct that. But 50 shekels represents, let's see here, 50 shekels represents the year of Jubilee. And you can find that in Leviticus 25, 8 through 17. And 40 is the number of testing. But anyway, that you can find in Jonah. But I'm gonna get all down into that later. And I just came to the 2 Samuel 23 and 24. So I didn't go all the way up in the beginning to explain all that and come down about when David met with Aruniah. I hope that's right. Aruniah, when David met. But anyway, I'll break all that down later for you. But I just was introducing, like I was telling you, the threshing floor. And he said he would not. So David brought the threshing floor and the oxen and paid 50 shekels of silver for them. And the reason why I'm breaking this down, I'm giving you a point to this, because it's like this COVID-19. This is really serious, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Many people are losing their life with this COVID-19. And I know that if David was able to do that, what more than we can do in prayer and coming and fasting and praying, for our nation, not sitting up here, oh, we got to be the big honcho. Or, no, 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 no. If all of us come together from the biggest all the way to the smallest and fast and pray, and God's telling people to turn from their wicked ways, then God will heal the land. I don't want to go on that scripture and all that. I don't want to go all into that right now. But I do want to say this, that David burnt an altar on the threshing floor of Aruniah and the plague was stopped. When David, Rabba Shenebo Shanda, Rabba Shenebo Sanda, Lord Jesus, Hagodobo Shotorabo Shaya, my God, my God, Idodabo Saya. Lord, I thank you. You got to have an altar built. My God, when David built that altar, the plague was stopped. My God, my God, my God. I have, Lord, I thank you. I got a better understanding about this now, but I didn't really come to talk about the altar. I know God was telling me to write a book about it years ago, and I never did. But I was coming to you for the threshing floor, but it was like the threshing floor was connected to the altar, and I was like, Jesus. So then when I came to that part with David, I said, okay, God, I'll share that part. But it's just that, wow. Even though that was a symbolic, what about today? What about today's time? Are we honoring God? Are we giving unto the Lord? Or we're letting this plague say, you know what, I don't know. I don't know. We ain't going to church now. You know what? If you ain't going to church now and you got a church, you pay your tithes and you offering in that church. Wherever you getting fed from, you pay into it because that's the only way you could be blessed and your family be blessed. You got to plant seeds for your family. So when you plant them seeds, let that be your altar that you're building. My God, my God, my God. You have a church, don't just because you don't go to church, you feel like that ain't a reason for you to be able to give. You give into the place of that's your worship. You give into that place. Don't sit up there and say, well, we ain't going to church no more, so ain't no need to give it. Because it still got to go on. The church still got to go on. The church still got to go on, people of God. It got to go on. But wow, my. Lord, I thank you. Now I see what God is did. Oh my God, this is awesome. My God, people of God, y'all sit there and y'all say, well, that happened in the old days. That happened years ago. That don't mean it's now. There was a lot of plagues back there in the Moses days too, wasn't it? They had to put blood on the doorpost in order for the death angel to pass on by. So we got to take this thing seriously. Don't sit up there and say, oh, it could never happen to me. But say one thing about it, oh, God, I'm going to build my immune system up and I'm going to do what it takes, wear my mask, wash my hand, do whatever I got to do. So if it did touch me, it have to leave. It got to dry up. Why? Because it can't stay. And you know what? Another thing, it wouldn't be able to stay because your body is built up to take it. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's time to fast and pray. Not to eat everything ain't not nailed down just because you can eat all that salty stuff and all that chips and all them cheese doodles. And I was guilty of it too. I was guilty of it too. I was guilty of it too. But I'm just saying, people of God, this is the time to eat healthy. This is the time to do what you got to do for you. This is what you got to do, what you got to do for you. You got to make sure your family's safe. You got to make sure your children are safe and covered. Kids always be putting their hands in their mouth and stuff. You understand? Their eyes. So you got to make sure. Train those children. Baby, you got to wash your hands. Like our moms did us when we were of old. All this seems like to me is God bringing us back to the way that we was when we were taught. You understand? Because nowadays there's a lot of things that is happening in the world. Everybody's so busy. Everybody caught up in their phone. They're not even really paying attention. What about the communication part? What about the communication? Talking with people, laughing, loving. You understand? That's humanity. You understand what I'm saying? And technology is great because we need it. But then what is it doing as far as family is concerned? What is it doing as far as relationship, marriages? Any kind of relationship. What is it doing as far as that? So I'm just letting you know, people of God, I'm just giving you something to think about. But really, I'm just introducing the prophetic threshing floor experience. But even in all this, I see another book coming out. I see another book coming out. But I'm just so thankful that God has opened up my understanding even unto this. Because even though things are symbolic, it still means something. It still has meaning. Having an altar built, it still have meaning. My God, my God. David built an altar on the threshing floor of Aruniah, and the plague was stopped. Okay? Y'all know it's like another wind of it hitting the earth, worse than the first one. So you got to stay built up, people of God. You got to use common sense and be obedient. God says obey the laws of the land. Don't be hard headed. You understand? Because then when it happens, you're like, oh my God. And then you panic and you fear. And whatever you fear can become real, y'all. Whatever you feel can become real. That's why I shared an experience when someone kept saying something and they kept saying something. My mother, in fact. And she said it so till that thing came true. And all I did was I laughed. I said, it ain't funny that it happened. Thank God that, it was distinguished real quick. But when you speak, life and death is in the power of your tongue. Your mind is more powerful than you think it is. And whatever you think, you can become. If you fear it, it will happen. God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So I just want to leave that with you. So I will be back doing different things on the threshing floor, and I'm gonna have different pictures and what have you with different stories concerning the threshing floor. So you never know where I'm going with it. But I know as God giving me the book to write, I'm not going to be able to share that until the book is finished, because God's giving me snippets of this, snippets of that, and that threshing floor is something else, y'all. That threshing floor is something else, and this is what God is calling us to for purification. He's calling us to be real, not only with ourselves, but with each other too. You understand? So it's just a blessing. It's really just a blessing. But I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Those of you who had looked at this video, thank you for tuning in. Um, and I don't have a ministry. This is not my ministry. I'm just sharing this. This is a part of me, and I'm sharing what God's telling me with you. One day, maybe my business started, things will start taking off, everything shut down. You can't really do anything just yet because it's still a shutdown. But as soon as the shutdown get over, then you can take care of this, and then you could do that and the other. But like I tell people, if they just want to send a love gift, all they have to do is put $ Cindy Philemon, and that's in a cash app, and I appreciate it. But other than that, I don't have a business, I don't have a ministry yet. Everything shut down, but God is going to make a way out of no way. And we need to pray, people of God, that this corona dries up. You have a wonderful, wonderful day or evening, wherever you are in the part of the world. God bless you.